All right, we'll get started with Jonah Heim. Go in the back, Sterling. The back middle.
How are you holding up physically? I know it was a big deal this offseason for you to make it through 162, but now we're beyond 162. So how are you?
I feel great. I had 3 weeks off, not by choice, but got the body right, and adrenaline's a powerful drug. So feeling great and ready to get after it.
How is the wrist, and do you still have to have off-season surgery?
That's to be determined. I know we have to go see the specialist after the season's over, but feels great and no issues.
I guess how much of a luxury is it for you guys to have a guy like Nathan Eovaldi pitching in Game 2 of a playoff series?
Oh, it's huge. You see us playoff experience in his resume, and you just have complete faith in him. True competitor, and he's going to give you everything he's got, and it's going to be pretty fun today.
Jonah, you looked frustrated when you were held up at third base last night. Was that more just that you knew you were going to be safe, or that you just knew the run was left on the board there?
That's just me being frustrated with my ability of being fast.
You guys, for most of the season, have been really good hitting with runners in scoring position. It's tailed off a little bit the last 4 or 5 games. What are you collectively seeing in those moments with this team right now?
I think it just goes to the talent of arms that we're seeing. We've been thrown into the fire with Seattle's bullpen and their starters, and last night with Glasnow, he's obviously he's one of the best in the game. So I'm not worried about it. We're going to keep putting together good at-bats, and we're going to be just fine.
You guys have been through so much down the stretch, ups and downs. Can you talk about the steady hand that Bruce Bochy offers to you guys, and what's built into that secret sauce and how he maximizes your effort?
Yeah, absolutely. No matter the ups or the downs, he's going to have a cool head and keep his composure up there. You look at the end of the dugout and you see him, and he's got the steady nature of him, and it's just never any panic, and you always feel like you're at ease, and he has complete faith in you.
How do you describe the wisdom he departs?
You just look at his experience, and he knows when he says something that has value. He's been through it. He's seen plenty of baseball, so when he speaks, you listen, and it's always some good advice.
I feel like we only ask you about the bullpen when they're struggling, but this last stretch, even in Seattle, they did really well, and they closed it out last night. What are you seeing from that group of guys over the last week, 10 days or so? Yeah,
absolutely. I feel like baseball has its ups and downs, and that's for pitchers as well. They go through struggles, they go through ups, and right now they're throwing the ball really well. Every time they come in the game, we have confidence that they're going to get their job done, and they're just coming and doing their job and not trying to do too much. And when we can do that, we're going to be just fine.
So going back to Bochy for a second, what do you feel like this team has absorbed or taken on that the manager brings to you guys? Like what of his traits have kind of carried over to this club?
I think just knowing that we're always in the game, no matter the score or the situation. There's never any panic. We get down a run or two, we come back and claw our way back. So I think just knowing that we're always in a game, no matter the situation or the run, and just keeping our composure and no panic.
Left.
Jonah, what does Adolis Garcia come to mean to the culture of your team in the clubhouse?
Yeah, he's huge staple in the middle of our lineup. Always having fun. He's always going to keep it light and have fun, and he has a threat to leave the yard at any time. But also he last night you saw off Glasnow, big at bat, put the ball in play with 2 strikes, and kept the line moving. So I think with a guy like that in the middle of your lineup, it does great things for us.
I don't even know if this is a fair question, but what the hell? Yesterday, Montgomery made a great play off the mound. Not just the field of the popped-up bunt, but a couple other plays, right? You guys did not have great fielding from your pitchers last year. How much have you seen in terms of how much they've helped themselves with what they've been able to do off the mound this year?
Yeah, I think that was a big focus even in spring training. Maddox came in and said that we're gonna do little things right, and we're gonna field our position, and it started in spring training, and I think they've seen the value of that throughout the whole year. Because if they can get their own outs and not leave outs on the table, then it makes their job easier too. So I think that was a big focus for us even in spring training, and it's carried us through the whole year.
Back here on the left.
Jonas, you work through games like these with experienced starting pitchers like Jordan and Nathan who've been through this before. How much do you rely on them versus your own experience when calling a game?
I think it just starts in the pregame meetings that we have, just going over all the data we have and what they like to do, what they want to do, and you trust that if they're shaking or if they're calling a pitch, they're throwing it for a reason. So it all comes down to communication and knowing that they've been through it before, they understand the moment, and they know what they need to do to get the job done.
Anything else for Jonah? All right. Thanks for coming in, Jonah.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll get started with Bruce Bochy. The lead off. Back middle.
As a former catcher, how much do you respect or appreciate what Jonah has done here really since he came off the injured list?
I mean, you really have to respect all aspects of his game. The receiving part, the throwing part, blocking, his durability. He did have the injury there, but I mean, we've used him quite a bit down the stretch. Got 11 or 12 in a row, plus the offense. So, no, you really appreciate somebody like Jonah when you get to see him every day.
On the front right here.
Even though you guys have a 1-0 series lead, what's the importance of winning today's game so that you don't work yourself into a winner-take-all situation tomorrow?
Yeah. Well, it's always good to take the first game. I mean, you have to win one before you win two, but, it's – I think you look at how the game went, too, with Monty going 7 innings. So, our bullpen's in good shape, but, we have work ahead of us. So we understand that, but I mean, any club would say it's always good to win the first one, but you also know that there's a lot of baseball left.
On the left here.
Beyond the obvious power, how has Adolis Garcia impacted your team this year?
Well, I think you look at the defense. He's really good out there in right field. He's a good base runner. He's athletic. His presence in the lineup, we know what he does with the bat. But, when he had an injury there and we had to sit him for a little bit, we missed him. We missed his presence. He's our cleanup hitter. And so when we got him back, we were a different club. Okay.
We'll go on the left here.
Couldn't do it. You just couldn't.
I will just ask it this way. If you do end up playing a Game 3, how would you describe what it does to your pitching situation? Because you don't have anybody who's...
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that right now, to be honest. We've been pretty good at being creative. We had to do that in Seattle, so right now we're just focused on today's game, and we'll worry about that if that happens to come up. So that's how we have to look at it.
Hey, Boch, can you talk about what Venable brings to you as a sounding board and how he's impacted your staff?
He's great. Will's great. I'm a little bit older, so it's good to have a young guy there helping me. He's wore some different hats. Being a first base coach, third base coach, bench coach now. His title's associate manager, but very organized. Really keeps me abreast of things, and is a great connector, with the players because it wasn't that long ago that he played. So, got a great way about him. Smart guy that just has done a terrific job for me, and I'm thankful I have him here beside me.
Go all the way in the back, Bruce.
Coach, how do your players, do you think they look at you as a man with all the experience of having won the championships? Do they look at you as a father figure? I mean, you have a lot of wisdom. How do you think they receive and look at you?
That's a great question. That's a hard one for me to answer. I don't know about father figure, maybe grandfather figure. I don't know, but I really can't answer that. Hopefully they know that I care about them, and we all want the same thing, and that's to win ball games. And hopefully I can help put them in that situation. That's my job, and if they understand that, then I'm good with it.
Go over here on the left, Bruce.
If they've absorbed anything of the manager's characteristics, what would you hope that they've absorbed?
I would say probably to stay calm, just show up the same every day, no matter what happens. That's part of being resilient and being able to deal with adversity. I try to do that when I come to the park every day. I mean, we've had to deal with a lot, and so if they can get that from me, then I'd be really happy.
Hey, the other thing is, knowing what you know about Adolis and Arozarena and their relationship, can you imagine this series taking place without one or either of them doing something that is highlight reel worthy?
Well, both great players, so to your point, that is something that would not surprise any of us. With the talent that these two have, I know how close they are, and their story, and it's pretty cool. You saw Garcia Dolly go out there and hug, Randy's mom. It's obvious a very, very close connection there. So, no, I see what you're saying. So we'll see how it goes today. Huh?
I'm glad you see what I'm saying, because usually I don't.
Yeah. Rarely do I, but on this one I do.
Anything else for Bruce? All right. Thanks, Bruce.
Yes.
That will conclude today's